Hello there and welcome to day 2 of a brand new tournament on the rugby calendar. It's finals day in the Paris7s and the action so far suggests we're set for another cracker.
You can do anything that you want to do. Your mind, body, and soul to it. Prove it to yourself and say, I will. I can do anything. It's a difficult world and you've got to prove it's ready and you can do it. Nothing in this world can stop you. I know I can, I will fulfill my dreams. Don't stop moving, keep it up, keep on moving,
Well, today's matches are already underway in the Charlotte Stadium in Paris, and we'll be going there for live action very shortly. With me here in London to guide you through the afternoon are Sky Sports' Jamie Salmon and Andrew Harriman, captain of the victorious England World Cup Sevens team in '93, and now managing the squad in the quarter-finals. And Kieran Bracken scored 4 tries, in fact, for the British Barbarians, who had such a difficult
down again, but then it was knocked on.
Very difficult scrummage there for Skinstead. It was very hard to turn around and get the ball out. Turning back on himself, going from right to left. Very difficult pass for the scrum half to make, especially when he's tired after that 70-yard run that he just made. But a good first half there, very entertaining, and Fiji have done remarkably well.
And we see here, Fida, the South Africans do have a lot of pace in their side. They've left out a couple of speedsters as well at the start of this match, so they're not lacking pace, but it just seems that the Fijians have an extra yard or two.
Well, that's right. Skinstead here has got it over 20-30, but he couldn't sustain it. He's a fairly small man and couldn't sustain it over that full 80 yards that he needed. Good defence there. Balesu getting back well.
And there's Jeffrey Stevens in his try. The story about Jeffrey Stevens, he grew up in Worcester in Boland, which isn't a million miles from Cape Town, about 75 miles from Cape Town. And he was so loyal to his school, who saw him through thick and thin, some really tough years, and they pushed him hard, recognising his tremendous ability. He has been offered a place at another college of further education where the facilities are absolutely tremendous, but real split loyalties for Jeffrey Stevens, who is quite a star in Worcester, in Boland, and very loyal to his own community, and they are proud of him and all that he's achieved. And now he's wearing the South African Barbarian jersey. One day, maybe one day, the full Springbok jersey, and that would send everybody in Worcester absolutely delirious, I'm sure. Wish Jeffrey Stevens well, and all the South African players now starting to come through. But now it's Fiji to start this second half in the ascendancy. The referee will call them back. Another tap forward. I'm just going to ask you at half-time, Peter, who's particularly impressed you in this Fijian lineup?
I think all of them. I think Vunu Barker has been outstanding. Manasa Bari's pace is just unbelievable, and I think the impressive thing about him is that he's stepped into a more creative role than the one that he normally plays in the absence of Serevi, and he's looked very sharp.
Vunu Barker straining the line well. Good tackling back though, and picked up by McDonald Messina. Plays for Transvaal, comes from Soweto.
first knock-on was by Fiji, so it'll be a South African put-in just here. This is easier for Skinstead, going from left to right. Let's see if we can move this out wide.
Awkward fall there for one of the Fijians, but he's back on his feet. And I think it was Valesu who took a bit of a knock, seemed to be okay. They don't want to lose anybody. They will need a full complement if they go all the way. This is Naituiyanga, and Naituiyanga is in. Nothing Voss can do about it again.
Didn't he set up the tackler well? Just fixed him, moved from right to left, put him slightly off balance, and then powered through that despairing arm. Just a sideways movement here, little shimmy both ways. Moves Chad Alcock out of the way, drives in for the line. Excellent try. A little bit of David Campese about in the way that he moved off both feet there. I think that's a compliment.
I think it is. That's Valesa's conversion, and it's 28-7. So South Africa Barbarians already getting into the area of looking for a consolation and nothing more. It's going to be a Fiji victory. But as we said yesterday when watching the Fijians in action, no matter what the score, they're always worth watching because of the skill level. It's so high, and it seems to stick to their hands, the ball. It's magnificent, some of the handling. Look at this, just marvel at some of the rugby skills, just letting themselves down at the end. But up until that moment, to keep that move going, it was a delight to watch.
It was. They let you down right on cue, unfortunately, Miles, but their handling has been very impressive, and normally is. That was a desperate pass to Jeffrey Stevens just there. Thank goodness the referee blew the whistle for the knock-on. He was under intense pressure under his own posts. But here we got Alcock in that difficult situation again, having to turn.
And under pressure, ball's loose. Oh, that's neat. Can he keep it in? He has. That's Manasseh Barry at his best.
That was a good decision.
Great control with the boot. We'll get a better look now to see if he did keep it in. I think, as Peter says, it was a good decision by the referee and a good decision by the player just to nip it around Dirkie Strijdom, and, well, just slightly obscured by the advertising hoarding there, but the referee was in a good position and gave the try.
He was. Perfectly good try, I think. No problem about that. People have struggled all day with these conversions, but no problem there.
Super kick from Valesa. That's been another feature of the Fijian play. Not just the restarts, the kicking at goal, but more often than not, they're kicking from underneath the posts. It does help.
Indeed. Let's hope the South African Barbarians can climb back into this game, give themselves a little bit of a consolation reward. They have played well. But again, intense pressure from that kick-off. They do it well.
It's great spirit in the South African camp. Met a couple of the chaps on Thursday after they've been on a shopping spree. And on a try spree here is Karoi, and he's in. Just don't want to give up. They will always chase the attacker, the South African cover, but Karoi goes in for another try.
And two beautiful side steps, both off the right foot in succession, before he accelerated away. Yeah, fine try.
Just to complete the story about the South African shopping spree, Big Fatoi from Border and his close friend Shivago Breda from Northern Transvaal had come back. It is actually Paris Fashion Week over here this week, and I think they just about bought up the whole of Paris. They had more shirts than I didn't know what to do with. They were very pleased with their purchases, and I'm sure they will look very stylish at the player party this evening. Now, will Fiji go to that party as champions? 42-7 in this quarter-final.
A little bit of a contretemps just off the field there, and the referee has stopped the game. But it's all sorted out now, no problem here. But here's another one of those difficult scrummages that South Africa have had. It's very hard to put the ball in here and turn round as a scrum half and get the ball away to your fly half. managed it after a fashion. That is a good kick. Jeffrey
Yes.
Stevens chasing.
It's a testing kick with Stevens showing so much pace. Lasanga Vibao just trying to pull away from Stevens, and the referee spotting a penalty offence.
It was right. Stevens made a good tackle, but then held his man down. The referees made the correct decision there.
Less than 60 seconds left on the clock. And Fiji find another try. They don't take their foot off the gas at all. They have this lovely determination to rub it in, and it's another try. Naitua Yanga loping away downfield. Everybody here enjoyed that.
Lovely side step off the left foot here, and then showing good pace. But as you say, Miles, they don't give up. They don't sit on their lead. They push themselves all the way. That's a super performance.
Well, the final whistle has gone, the conversion has gone over. It's appropriate that we should see on the replay there a try, because it was all about tries from Fiji today. They do look, to me, they look champions. 49-7, and South Africa Barbarians are out of the tournament. Fiji through to the semi-final.
They've disposed quite easily of South Africa by 49 points to 7. And Jamie, Salmon, I suspect we would say that was pretty comprehensive, really, wasn't it?
Yes, they've woken up meaning business, haven't they? They've certainly, you know, put 50 points on, got everything into gear, done a few moves. Everybody's had a good run out. 2 games to go. Semi-final against Australia next. Be obviously a much harder test. But Fiji are getting stronger and stronger by the minute, it seems.
Andrew, Australia, Fiji, as Jamie's just said, that's a match to look forward to. And I suspect you'd still go for Fiji, because I know that they're your prediction overall.
Yes, I think Fiji will still win, but Australia will put up an even harder contest this time. But Fiji are very good defensively as well as attacking, and they don't let you play. But I hope Australia will play a bit better than South Africa.
They are showing a terrific appetite too, aren't they? I mean, they just don't want to stop scoring.
They've come to win the tournament. That's quite clear from the way their purpose they're going about it.
Good, that's something to look forward to. Right, it's France, Argentina. That's our next action from the Charlotte Stadium. Commentary on this one from Damien Hopley and Mark Robson.
Yes, that Australia-Fiji semi-final, a one to savour. We think here it possibly should be the final. France against Argentina. This very inexperienced French side. Only Hugo Mola was at Hong Kong for the Sevens tournament. But look out for Tau Fafanua, the South Sea Islander, wearing number 1. Argentina much more experienced, with Lisandro Arbizu, who scored 3 tries already in the tournament, and immediately a penalty. And a very obvious one too. Arbizu has played in 2 World Cups. This is Thielen, surrounded by blue jerseys and brought to ground by Betson. Knocked forward in the tackle. And the French get the scrummage, and it's looking very good for France now, isn't it? The Argentinians don't look as if they even have the potential to score at the moment.
They look very short of ideas, and really, if you look at the French defence, they're coming up in 6s and 7s, and there should be space to exploit. But the Argentinians just seem to be happy to pass the ball on to someone else to do the hard work.
Bouza. Arbizu in support, and Beraldi's there as well. Here's Arbizu. Arbizu gets half through past Tau Fafanua. Now for the Argentinians, it's Legora. Feeling to the right of Beraldi. Further outside is Gerardo, and he puts a good tackle in on Marfang. And retaining possession through Beraldi. Argentinians urgently need a try. The whistles, well, hasn't gone because Ed Morrison is playing the advantage to the Argentinians. And chasing back to cover for France is David Arrieta. Beautiful day here in Paris now. It's much more romantic today than it was yesterday.
Absolutely, I might say, Mark, you're looking lovely in the sunlight.
Thank you.
Hopefully a few more crowds will turn up now this afternoon. The Sevens, as we said, is going to get a lot better. The quality is going to improve. Hopefully the crowds will come and enjoy it.
We've seen some good Sevens rugby from teams like the New Zealand Barbarians, and here do come the Argentinians now with a chance possibly through Legora. just what they needed. Julian Lagora, the replacement. At last, a little bit of incision from the Argentine side.
That's right, I think long gone are the days of fancy patterns in sevens, while the Australians are extremely experienced side.
He's saying, but it'll be a very closely fought game.
Thank you very much. Right, let's cross back to the stadium. Peter Rossborough and Miles Harrison.
Thanks, David. Stand by for a battle, perhaps literally, Peter.
I think so. You know, the Western Samoans have been warming up with serious intent for this game. They've been in huddles in the corner of the ground. They are very pumped up for it, and I think we should see a lot of big hits, and New Zealand may not have it all their own way.
They made a mistake from the kick-off, New Zealand conceding the scrum on the halfway line. New Zealand in the red jerseys. Kerwin tries to tap it back, but there'd already been a knock forward. There's John Kerwin. 2 years with the Auckland Warriors, playing rugby league, now back with rugby union. One of the truly great All Blacks of all time. Now, good run here, but some excellent cover from Western Samoa, and New Zealand will find that right the way through the match, that even when they think they've got away, the Samoans, just like Fiji, cover so well.
They do, and Greg Peacock is very sharp. He was looking very good yesterday, but Western Samoa got back well for that.
Yes, Peacock has this ability to...
He's got a 15-yard blindside here as well that could interest him.
There he goes. Quicker and quicker when he runs and into his stride. Let's see what he does this time. It's the long pass out. Oh, and that was a handoff which meant business. And New Zealand have a chance with Don Smith going through, but they couldn't find Karauna of Waikato. Disappointment for Karauna. Smith had made the initial burst, and it was quite a handoff, Peter.
Certainly was. Whether it was legal or not, I'm not quite sure, but it was a cracking handoff. And let's see if we get any retaliation from the Western Samoans. That was nicely physical. At the moment, Hafata So'olo is injured under his own posts.
It was poor old Ferretti on the receiving end.
Yes, interesting name that. But, yeah, shame about the Alfred Ulinaga couldn't quite pick it up, or it would have been a nice try.
Well, Damien called him Ferretti yesterday, but that's his cousin in Yorkshire.
Damien's been known to have them down his trousers from time to time. But,
now, chance for New Zealand again as they turn over at the scrum, and they've got a try in the corner. It's Greg Peacock, that elusive little scrum half, the man from North Harbour. So they open the scoring, first try of the match. New Zealand Barbarians 5, Western Samoa 0, and this is the try again.
But it was good pressure. John Kerwin on the loose head, actually known as a winger, basically playing loose head properly, and his side of the scrum that went forward well to create that opening for Greg Peacock to drive round. John Kerwin certainly played a big part in that.
Not the best of kicks from Steve Milne, who plays for the Bay of Plenty.
That's a good first score, an important first score for the New Zealand Barbarians.
Interesting, New Zealand were given the penalty from the kick-off, so obviously some foul play involved there as well. Now there's a chance for Western Samoa with Vaisui trying to get away. Across goes Kevin Shula. Penalty given this time to Western Samoa. New Zealand Barbarians going over the top and wasting no time. Ferretti gets it out, and there's a chance to maybe spin it all the way along the line, but clearly a forward pass just at the end. Sualu, a very quick winger, was hanging out wide. There's Faiua So, who can also move as well. They've got speed in the backs, but that time the handling letting the side down. It's quite interesting seeing the likes of John Kerwin in the front row. Just packing down on the far side as we look. Peacock away. Karauna showing it, and inside went Ulananga. That was high, and he was dangerous. And again, now they're overstepping the mark there, Western Samoa.
John Kerwin in his old position. No way he was going to pass that.
Had support in the end from Steve Milne. Almost the interception. Handling errors on both sides, though.
That's the first time in the tournament we've seen John Kerwin in open play. I think he's finding this propping a little harder than he thought, even though he's doing well at it. It's a shame we didn't see a touch of his old magic and power.
There's Kerwin, far side.
One of the all-time greats in this game.
And the New Zealand Barbarians being coached by another great, Joe Stanley. He's working full-time at the moment with NEC Japan as their technical advisor. And I'm told that
Joe.
Yes, I'm told that John Kerwin is planning to go over to Japan as well and take over from Joe Stanley as player coach.
Yeah, two very similar players. They both knew a fair bit about boshing the opposition. Joe Stanley particularly. John Kerwin had a little bit more guile about him. But Joe was very uncompromising.
Brilliant hands there on the far side from Faiuaso. Great score for Western Samoa. Even the New Zealand Barbarians, one or two of the players, despite being involved in the heat of the battle, able to appreciate that and put their hands together and give a little round of applause for Faiuaso. The way he took that and kept himself in play was breathtaking.
It was. That was good play. It was a nice little chip ahead. Avoided all the pressure on the side of that scrimmage. A good riposte again from the Western Samoans.
It's Ferretti, or Ferretti, whichever you prefer. Well, he prefers kicking, obviously, because that was a super kick straight through the middle. There's Faiuaso skating down the wing. Kept his eyes on the ball all the time, not on the tackler, and somehow, despite the weight of the challenge, keeping his balance.
Good skills there from Kerwin. Taking the ball from the kickoff, a good kickoff, and very quick hands to release his other backs.
Don Smith caught in the tackle. Karauna, who scored 4 tries in the tournament. Half-time coming. Referee says no time to be added on, so an interesting first half, quite a physical first half as well. Western Samoa leading by 7 points to 5, and it's still anybody's, Peter.
It certainly is. It's a very well-matched game. Andrew Harriman predicted beforehand he thought the New Zealand Barbarians would just shade it, but Western Samoa really are pumped up and they're getting stuck into them. It's a very close, very interesting game, this one.
All of this New Zealand side, Barbarians have worn the New Zealand jersey, the black jersey at some stage. I'm not talking about the full international jersey, but at various levels of play, either juniors or under 21s. There's a lot of talent out there, and there's Peacock going in for his try, and then another look now at Faiuaso scoring Western Samoa's response.
And Ulinaga will be disappointed with himself there. I think if he'd gone a little lower, he'd certainly have stopped that try being scored. But not take anything away from Ferretti, who did well to control the ball and resist this challenge. Good strength there to stay in field.
So 1 try each, 1 from Peacock, 1 from Faiuaso, and here we go for the second half. And the first 2 or 3 minutes of this second period could well dictate the course of the match. They're
very evenly matched in the rucks and mauls, and no side has yet managed to keep any continuity of possession. I think that's the thing we've been missing so far. If any one of these two teams can produce that, I think they'll forge ahead.
Interesting fashion accessory.
Oh, Kiwi!
It's a poor kick-off and just what New Zealand wanted. Again, it produces that split scrummage midfield with 35 yards for Greg Peacock to use his pace in, and outside him he's got Alfred Ulinaga. If they go around to the right, which is the easier and obvious way to go, there's an almost immediate 2-on-1 there.
Just like how New Zealand started the match with that before kick-off. Western Samoa have done the same. It's quite a present when they're playing at this standard. Kick in behind the defence by Greg Peacock.
Vitali did very well there to get back and cover that. They anticipated the kick ahead well.
Conditions get better and better. Lots of sunshine now. A pleasant temperature. It was cold this morning. And the players will respond to the extra warmth. Will feel a little bit more like sevens. It's good underfoot as well here at the Stade Charlotte, a fine stadium. So both sides playing it cagey early in this second half, some kicking for position.
And that was a good kick out of defence. That's 50 yards from behind his own line. He can be proud of that.
Should also say that it's 5 minutes each way in extra time, although it is sudden death within those periods of extra time. So first score will win. Here we go again with Sualu. Sualu is going to get away. They're trying to get across, but they won't do it. Sualu, the flying winger from Western Samoa. Another scintillating score.
It was scintillating. There was just simply nothing on in the middle of the field. It was man for man. The defence was well organised. He suddenly turned on the power, turned on the acceleration, and through he went. This is astonishing acceleration. What Ulinaga was doing, letting him go there, I just don't know. And he keeps it on over the full 50 yards. This is good. Peacock comes across covering, but he holds him off just here. That was a very good try. A deserved lead there for Western Samoa.
Coverage brought to you by Canal Plus in terms of the direction and camera work, and some good replays there. And Western Samoa.
They're now 2 scores ahead, Miles. That's the important thing.
Yes, they are. No matter what colour shirts New Zealanders are wearing, Western Samoans like to beat them. We're watching the Paris7s live on Sky Sports. Now Bao tried to get through.
That was good pressure in the midfield by Western Samoa. John Cohen trying to be a little bit too clever, flicking it behind his back and putting his team under even more pressure. Here's a cracking opportunity for the Western Samoans.
So signs of pressure now on the New Zealand Barbarians following that score from Sualu. Oh, and this is interesting. Western Samoa going for the kick at goal. The boos were inevitable from all those around us. They don't like that.
But having said that, this is now a knockout competition. They want to win. This is Western Samoa against New Zealand. You don't give anything away in this sort of thing. I think this is understandable, Miles. The crowd may not like it, but if it wins the game for Western Samoa, they're happy.
Ferretti doesn't want the kicking tee. Drop goal penalty through the post. And it's an important 3 points. That scoreline confirms Western Samoa now 17-5 up, and it could be that